Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Turkish with me. We've just beaten Burnley 3-1 at the Emirates. Turkish, you keep going about fluidity and whatnot, and today we weren't our fluent best, but we got the job done. It's now international break. Spurs lost today. I think we can be happy, but there's still some signs that, you know, Arsenal aren't where they need to be.
Yeah, you could say that, and I've been saying that all season, but listen, the reality is we're not the same team as we was last season, playing style-wise. Probably something that me or fans that think like me or have seen like me have to get used to it.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not after good football. I'm after challenging and winning big trophies and you know, remaining competitive. So if this is the style of play that's going to get us the bag come the end of the season, so be it. And look, as much as I've, you know, been critical about the fluidity comparisons to last season, we're still near the top of the table. You know, we're through in the Champions League essentially, so all looks good. I know we're at the Carabao Cup and a lot's been made of that from some fans, nothing's been made of it from some other fans. For me, I'm looking at the majors, and the majors are the Premier League and the Champions League, and then the FA Cup falls just behind that. So, you know, FA Cup starts turn of the year, and the two main majors that we're currently in, we're still in with a shout, because, you know, we're through and we're near the top. Just talk about,
just quickly, we're going to have a conversation quickly about Havertz, because he came off, and I was generally surprised Arteta took him off. But do you feel like Arteta's starting to see that, you know, I've been giving you enough opportunity? Because I just had a conversation with Laurie, and he was saying this is the opportunity for him to really shine. But I've like, he's played against Sheffield, he's played against Bournemouth. Like, I know he got the penalty against Bournemouth, we gave it to him, but like, he's played against lesser clubs, and I don't want to be disrespectful, and not really shone. He's played against big clubs and done okay. So do you think Arteta's starting to see him think, oh, now maybe I might have to start changing, or do you think it's just is what it is, Arteta will stick by this?
I don't know, man.
He come off quite early today.
He come off early. It was a big signing, and I'm tired of people saying this is the game for him to do good in. I mean, we've had enough of those games now. We've had enough games, you know, home Sheffield United, home Burnley. We've had difficult games against big six sides where he hasn't, you know, featured. So we've had, you know, the whole spectrum of games, difficult ones, easy ones, and he still hasn't done anything for me on the ball. You know, off the ball, people praised him, and yes, off the ball, he has done some bits, but I didn't think we're signing a 65 million who's known for his time at Leverkusen, where on the ball he was doing that. Yeah, that's what everyone hoped to see with him coming in, that Havertz back. I'm yet to see any of that. So I think Arteta's probably, you know, feeling the same, but at the same time, he's made a big commitment to Havertz, you know. He's brought him in. He's one of our highest paid players, if not the highest paid. I'm still, you know, refusing to believe that he's our highest paid player, because that would be madness to me. But he's one of our highest for sure. So I think Arteta's probably looking at it and thinking it hasn't worked out how he thought. He's, you know, he hasn't played some of the big games in the smaller games where he's been given more of a chance. He hasn't really stepped up and grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. So with Havertz now, my expectation is in the gutter. I mean, I'd probably rather be happily surprised than bitterly disappointed week in, week out. So it is what it is. Havertz is just a member of the squad. I'm not expecting much from him this season or in his Arsenal career. And what Arteta wants to do about that moving forward, if he doesn't, you know, prove fans like me wrong, it's up to him. I've seen Arteta, you know, buy players and show them the door after 12 months, 18 months. So this is a different one, because obviously this is a big output expenditure on him. But Arteta's been ruthless with many players, either, you know, players he's bought coming in, or big players that we had at the club that essentially left for nothing at the end because of Arteta's vision and philosophy. So if Havertz doesn't buck up his ideas, I expect Arteta to make decisions. Maybe not January, but make decisions sooner rather than later.
It'd be ruthless if he does it in January. But I think you're right. I think he has to start looking at potential other options, because I'm still not sold as well. I want to get your opinion on this one now. You said Trossard, man of the match for you. He had a really good game, goal and assist. I mean, people keep talking about, you know, we need to improve in the striker. We need to improve in the striker. Trossard seems like he's come in there and done okay. Eddie might be scratching his head now. Just give me a kind of your opinion around it all, because Jesus is injured. I know you wanted, I'm assuming, a new striker potentially in January, but can Trossard be that answer? Do we go to look for cover for Saka instead of a striker, and maybe move Eddie on or keep him in? Like, or is it all just needed still an improvement on the striker position? Keep Jesus, keep Trossard in there. Like, where are you at this situation now?
No, we still need a striker.
Right.
But Trossard is the best option we have if Jesus is not available.
Okay.
Easy for me.
Easy. Wow.
Easy. But the striker we need, in my opinion, is someone different, completely different to a Jesus, which means different to a Trossard as well, because I think Trossard's quite similar to Jesus in what he brings in the false nine position. I think when they both play on the wings, they're very different types of players. But if they both play up top, they've got quite a few similarities there. So Trossard's a great option to have across the front line. So regardless of a new striker coming in or not, I don't think it costs Trossard any minutes or any playing time. I think Trossard is a valuable asset to the squad. And I use the word squad for a reason because, listen, the first 11, multiple competitions. He started the majority of our Champions League games. He hasn't started the majority of our Premier League games. So it's a long season. But if Jesus ain't available, Trossard steps in. And in January, it was still in. And it looks like we're still going to be in with a shot to win the Premier League. Go and buy the striker. There's one clearly available there in Ivan Toney. Whether we can do that or not, it's another question. But if we can't do a Toney, then I might as well forget about Osimhen or a Ferguson in January. So Toney's the one in January that looks attainable, looks available. And I hope we kind of go in and finally in a January give the fans that renewed hope midway through the season, because I feel like two years ago in January when we're going for top 4, we was in top 4. January wasn't the greatest. A lot of rumours about Vlahovic, that's Bruno Guimaraes, that January. Neither come true, and at the end of the season we fall short. We finished 5th behind Tottenham.
Did last year give us?
Same thing last year though, really. We was after Mudryk. Like, we can all laugh at it now because Mudryk's come in, he hasn't done well. It looks like we dodged a bullet there, 100%. But the fact is, we wanted him. We was chasing him for weeks, months. Probably one of the longest sagas I've seen Arsenal reliably in. It's unusual to know Arsenal are interested in a player and just see it kind of play out for a long period. We didn't get him. Caicedo was also our midfield, option at first. In the end, we ended up with Trossard and Jorginho, which was still good, still decent.
It worked. But the renewed the energy that we wanted.
We knew it was our plan Bs coming in rather than the ones that Mikel really wanted. Now, like I said, we can laugh now because Trossard compared to Mudryk since January, chalk and cheese. We got the better end of the deal for sure. This January, I'd like the club to, go and back Arteta again. I'm going to use the word again because I don't want people to think they haven't backed him. They have. Kai Havertz is a back-in. Rice is a back-in. Listen, one's wonderful, one's not. But in January now, we're going to have an opportunity to strengthen the side. Looks like we're going to have an opportunity to maintain a challenge in the second half of the season, wherever that goes, who knows. Let's do what we need to in January. Let's just leave no questions unanswered. Let's not leave no doubts, because you can do what you need to do in January and still miss out on the title.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's not a given. So do what you need to and give us the best possible platform to go and do it.
And be happy. Okay, quickly, finally, last question, bit off key, off tangent here. International break, come at a good time or a bad time for you?
Great time.
Yeah?
Great time. The injuries we have is peak. So for me, it's come at a great time. We need at least a couple players back in the next couple of weeks, regain some fitness, because when you looked at our bench today, it's Burnley at home. So we got, we didn't need to rely upon the bench, even though it did look, sticky or nervy at some points. We've got Brentford away next, which is going to be a tougher test than this for sure, 100%. And we've got Luton and a couple other fixtures that you'd expect us to win. So I'd like us to just, take the next 2 weeks. If you're not going on international break, enjoy your time. Be ready for the, the week leading up to the Brentford game. And if you are going international break, then just try to talk to the manager and get some time, because England's already through. So I don't want to be seeing Saka play 90-90. I don't know how many games England have, but I'd like them to protect him a little bit there.